Hello and welcome back to Chess of Blades, and if I remember correctly, I think we're gonna be interrogated by Linus, I think? And we still have no clue who this kid is, because he's not giving us our name, but anyways, sitting in a chair in the corner is a small young man, huddled with his knees pulled up against his chest. Wait a second, have I seen him before? Yes. Yes, you have. Oh right, it's the kid who knocked on my door earlier. What's he doing here, though?
That's him, I think. Sorry, sir.
You think? What? He gives me a guilty look, quickly glancing away and hugging himself protectively.
I see. Well, Rivian, it seems Alistair here is quite convinced you were out in the gardens when tonight's incident took place. So...
Wait, was he by chance one of the people sneaking around?
Wait a damn moment. What is this incident you all keep talking about? Give a man some details before you start accusing him of things he didn't do.
Linus pauses, giving a long, scrutinizing look before continuing.
Tonight, a man was murdered on the castle grounds.
A man? Oh, that's right, because there was supposed to be a guy that was supposed to come to the party. Oh. What the hell? Okay, weird audio. I think it, like, glitched a little? Okay, weird. A cold sensation tingles down my spine. So something really did happen after all.
His body was found in the gardens after the dinner, and as a result, everyone who was in the surrounding area at that time is potentially involved in the affair.
Okay, he pushes up his glasses in a matter-of-fact manner to punctuate his words, and then glances towards the boy in the chair.
This young man here was within sight of the garden exit in the main hall during that period, and informed us of the individuals he saw passing through the door in that time frame. And you happen to be one of them.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Besides, Arden was with me in the gardens. He can tell you quite plainly that I wasn't going around stabbing my dinner fork into anyone out there.
Dinner fork, okay, yeah, sure.
I'm afraid Arden has been called to active duty for protecting the king at this time, so reaching him will be quite difficult. You'll have to be taken to a guarded area for further questioning in the meantime.
I growl under my breath in frustration, squirming in the guard's firm grip on my arm. Yeah, I was reading that right. There has to be something I could do to get out of this situation. Guarded area is probably the safest place to be with a murderer on the loose, but I refuse to be locked up for something I'm not guilty of. Just as the armored man starts to pull me towards the door, knock suddenly echoes from it. Guard abruptly jerks in surprise, shooting a quick glance towards Lance through his helmet.
Well, don't just stare, fool. The door isn't about to open itself.
I mean, it might.
Yes, sir.
If it's who I think it is, maybe? He reaches out with his gauntleted hand to hesitantly turn the doorknob. I have to say, he's awfully tentative for someone wearing so much armor. I can't see who's standing at the door since the bulky guard is blocking my view, but it doesn't appear to have been stabbed, so I'm assuming it's not the murderer.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you mind if I barge in on this chat for a moment? I think I can offer some help with this nasty situation.
It is him, isn't it? The guard hesitates for a moment, then nods, and the visitor sidles past me. I'm saying that right?
Franz?
Why are you here?
I mean, he has quite a lot of information, not telling anyone. Chuckling a little at our startled faces, the tall man dips slightly forward in mocking bow towards us.
My, don't you two know how to make a man feel welcome? It's a bit cramped in here, isn't it?
His eyes rumming. Hold on. I feel like I need to increase the audio just a wee bit, because I think you guys can't hear the music in something like the last parts. That's the only parts I record. I feel. I could be wrong. But anyways, his eyes roaming across the room. Franz pauses to study Alistair for a moment, who nervously shifts a little under his intense gaze. Also, can we figure out who the kid is? I'm still curious who that kid is
I
anyways.
don't recall asking you for an interior space evaluation. What is your purpose in contaminating my chambers?
They really hate each other. Or at least he just hates them. While the two of them offer each other challenging glares, I glance out the corner of my eye at the door. It's open, and the guard seems distracted by Franz as a potential threat. I could try to make a run for it, although I doubt I'd get very far.
What a rude way of phrasing things. But to answer your question, I'm here to get my kitten off the hook.
Wait, is he just gonna carry him? Suddenly reaching out towards me, Franz curls an arm around my waist. Hold me nonchalantly up against the side. Oh, hello.
And hand me, you blasted! Wait, did you say you were getting me off the hook?
Yep. Yes, he did.
Before I ask how exactly you intend to do that, I'm curious as to how you were even aware of this investigation in the first place.
Oh, he's pretty aware of a lot of things happening. Miles raises an eyebrow, suspiciously staring at Franz with unmasked distaste.
Well, I saw the little blonde here being carted off by the guard in the main hall. So I followed them. It was clear enough he had gotten himself into some kind of trouble.
Yeah. As he speaks, Franz squeezes my hip as casually as someone embracing a long-time look. Well, hello. I'm starting to think I'd almost rather be taken to a cell than put up with this harassment.
I see. In that case, are you able to confirm his whereabouts from the period between the end of the banquet and the announcement in the main hall?
Franz nods confidently, lips curled in a winning smirk.
Of course. You were there too, Glasses. You saw me follow him after he left the table. I was keeping an eye on him when he went to the gardens.
You
Oh, he did
followed
follow
me?
us.
What is wrong with you, you thick-headed pervert?
That may be so, but I have little evidence that your words are trustworthy. Your presence in the gardens at that time also implicates you in this matter.
Interrupting my complaints sharply, Lance drums his finger on his forearm, turning Franz's smile with a deep, derisive curl of his lips. I know words. Franz, however, doesn't seem to be fazed by Lance's retort. Was I not wrong? Yeah, I'm still wrong. Okay. In fact, if anything, his tone only grows more confident and firm.
It just so happens that a guard was with me at the time. I specifically requested his presence in case someone tried to jump the kitten outside. But it seems someone else got jumped instead. But my point is, unless you're going to start accusing your own guards of murder conspiracies, you can confirm my statement with him. The boy's innocent.
His unhurried words come to a finish, and Franz turns his head a little to glance down at me, squeezing a little lower down my hip. Okay, hello, Franz. This time, though, I feel too shocked to even protest. Was Franz actually watching all that time? Did he really know something was going to happen? Doesn't seem to be lying, isn't flinching the slightest even beneath Lance's icy, skeptical gaze. Or he's a really damn good liar. Can't believe it. He must have been telling the truth when we met out on the balcony last night. Some serious things are in motion now, and I've been caught up in them. But how did he know?
Very well, then.
Remote Lances gives me a long look, one that seems less accusing and more like some kind of warning. Is he trying to tell me something? Probably.
Now, if you could refrain from wasting my time any further, please leave my chambers so that I can return to my investigation.
Okay. Turns his back on us to face Alistair once more, to which the boy stares at me wide-eyed.
Come on, kitten. Let's give Glasses and his poor victim over there some privacy.
Franz is great. So grabbing my hand, Franz pulls me past the somewhat dumbfounded guard out into the hall, closing the door behind us.
What in the...
Shh, not yet.
With a surprisingly serious frown, Franz leads me down the hall in the direction of the adjacent rooms. Like, I just gotta keep checking and recording, so sorry if I just keep looking over here. A feeling of relief washes over me at being taken out of the situation, although there's so many new questions piling up my plate that I don't know where to start. It's difficult to resist the urge to start asking Franz about what just happened, but his furtive demeanor makes me feel like I should hold my tongue for the moment. He presses the door to my room and Franz nudges my shoulder expectantly.
Fine.
Muttering on my breath, I fish out my key and unlock the door. Why can't we go in his room? He's certainly going to get the wrong idea from this. Is he? I mean, they live right next door on the balcony, so he could easily get in his room. So once we're inside, Franz closes the door behind us, flicking the lock before slowly turning back to face me. He exhales a soft sigh, shaking his head and rubbing a hand back of his neck.
I didn't think they'd strike so soon. At least I was in the right place at the right time.
Though, does he know who it
I'll
is?
say, I can't believe you thought to bring a guard with you outside.
Let me guess, he actually did. To my surprised comment, Franz's eyes narrowing in a smug, mischievous expression, and he tilts his head to one side.
Oh, that? That was a bluff, actually. I only watched you from the window. I have no alibi, but I doubted the glasses would take the time to press further.
I had a feeling he was the lying son of a bitch. Well, he got him out. I give him a stunned look. He was so completely confident even while spouting out utter lies to Linus. I don't think I'll ever be able to trust a word out of his mouth again. Although that aside, I suppose I owe him my gratitude for extracting me so effortlessly. Swallowing my pride for a moment, I let out an awkward cough and briefly avert my case.
Well, regardless, you have my thanks. Even if it was a bluff, it certainly saved me back there. But I think I deserve some kind of explanation for whatever the hell happened tonight. It seems like you're the only one who knows anything about it.
A rigid grin creeps over Franz's face at my words. With immediately replying, he strolls over to the chair by the fireplace, lowering himself down into it and languidly stretching out with his legs spread wide.
I wouldn't say you've done anything to deserve an explanation, but I'll give you one, just because I have a soft spot for you. Come over here.
He motions for me to approach the chair, so I fold my arms over my chest and stroll up beside
That's
it.
completely unfair, you know. How am I supposed to defend myself if I...
Okay, well, either this might end up being... I don't know. Okay. Like a serpent lashing out at a prey, Franz quickly reaches out, grabs my waist, pulling me down onto his lap. I feel a strong sense of deja vu as he tightly coils one arm around me, keeping me caged in this ridiculous, humiliating position.
You really need to quit with this habit of yours, or one day I'll pull out a knife and stick your grabby hands with it.
Is that so? I don't think anyone's afraid of a kitten's claws, but I'd love to see you try.
I have no clue how far these cuts or these CGs will get, let me just say that. So anyway, we'll continue until it gets to the point where, obvious reason will occur. But till that happens, let's keep going. I grip my teeth together and squirm the principal for a few moments, but it's clear that I'm not going anywhere this time either. So I give up and relax in his possessive grip instead. I swear, one of these days when he's not looking.
Anyway, you said you wanted some explanation for what's going on, right? Well, here's something for you. The man who was killed, he was one of the ambassadors.
Ooh, okay.
What? One of the ambassadors?
I repeat his statement with disbelief. Franz leans into rest his chin on my shoulder, glancing at me from this side with amusement.
Are you piecing it together yet? Someone's trying to start a war, kitten. What better way to do it than to murder a visiting ambassador?
True.
And as to why they want a war, well, the dead ambassador's country lost half its land 5 years ago to none other than your own kingdom. Let's not forget who was in charge of the armies at that time either.
He murmurs these words against my cheek, almost as if he is asking me a riddle, pausing to watch my reaction. Strange enough, the question I want the answer to most is, how does Franz know so much? For that matter, who even is he? But those questions, as important as they are, surely aren't the key pieces on the board that's been set up.
Do you know who's behind this? With so many guests here, it'll be hard to pick them out. And they'll strike again before we get a chance to do anything.
Oh, they will, kitten. And I know that you're going to be their next target.
Ooh, oh, okay. The response doesn't shock me as much as it did before, but I still feel the blood draining from my face at how confidently he purrs out those ominous words.
You're telling me that it's some crazy nationalist who wants to kill me because of my father's actions during the war?
He suddenly lets out a low laugh at that. Soft exhalations. Exhalations. I'm fucking bored. It's just tickling the side of my neck, making my skin break out in goosebumps. Never have I missed my prized personal space so dearly.
Oh, that's entirely possible. But I think the main reason is something a lot simpler. You were out in the gardens right before the murder, weren't you? That means you might have seen the culprit.
I mean, we heard the culprit.
But I didn't. I only met up with Arden, and Arden's about as likely to murder someone as an eggplant.
Ah, but the murderer doesn't know that, do they? For all they know, you're keeping quiet for your own safety, or planning some kind of blackmail. Those would be standard games and court affairs, after all.
A growing sense of helplessness comes over me as Franz speaks. I want to say he's just making up things to scare me, but I remember now. Back in the garden I heard whispering, something that sent chills down my spine. Let them hear and back inside. That's what they said. And if they were the ones involved, the murderer, I'm sure they saw me or heard my voice when Arden surprised me. In that case, they probably think I saw them too. Shit, damn it, all to hell.
Well, what do you suggest I do? Go and throw myself over the balcony to save everyone some time?
As romantic a death as that would be, I think I have a better solution.
Oh, and what would that be? He flicks his thumb in the direction of my bed, putting his arm around my waist at the same time.
You can go to sleep, and I'll stay here to keep watch. You'd better hurry up before I start feeling the need to extract payment from you.
Oh. Oh, will you?
Hang on a moment. You're telling me you're going to keep me safe until we find the assassin? Wouldn't it be a better choice to just arrange a carriage home?
Franz quirks an eyebrow at me, the corners of his mouth teasingly curling, teasingly curled upward.
What do you think that would achieve? It's the easiest thing in the world to find out where a noble family lives. And I'm sure your home isn't more tightly guarded than the castle. It's better to solve the problem than to run from it. So your best bet is to suss out the culprit here, get them behind bars, and live happily ever after. With my help, of course.
I mean, because at this point we've only chosen Franz the most. I hesitate reluctantly, acknowledging the rationality in his words. In my moment of pause, Franz reaches around my back, suddenly grabbing my rear with a firm squeeze.
And before you ask what I get out of it, besides being able to make you blush and squirm, let me just say I consider this repayment of a debt. That's all you need to know for now.
Well then. Trying to keep myself from getting too flustered, I give Franz the most vitriolic glare I could muster and push myself onto my feet, backing away from him.
I swear, if you so much as breathe in my general direction during the night.
Don't worry yourself, kitten. I'd much rather you throw yourself into my arms than have to coerce you into them.
Franz, you got emperor. He waves a hand dismissively, offering me a suggestive, knowing wink, and I turn away with a sigh. Can I really fall asleep with him here? Wouldn't it be a better idea to stay up? Interesting choices. Why? I don't know. With the hint of what he was saying earlier, I feel like trying to stay awake somehow further pursue his route. I don't know. Just saying, I feel like maybe just sleeping would. I don't know. I know if anything I might fuck up on this first playthrough. Let's stay awake and see what occurs. If certain CG occur, obviously you'll know reasons of transitioning. I don't trust this man, not one bit. Just stay awake for most of the night, so if anything happens, at least I'll have a chance to defend myself. Slip out everything except for my underwear and slide under the bed covers, not taking my suspicious gaze off of Franz. I have no intention of falling asleep, however, so I keep my eyes slightly open as I settle down onto my pillow. As much as I try to stay focused, my eyelids start to grow heavy. Oh, I'm just gonna fall asleep? Okay. Damn, this bed's just too bloody cozy. Eventually I end up giving into pull of sleep and drift off into a gentle doze. Gaze? I don't know. Just barely conscious of what's going on around me. Soon my consciousness wanes to a complete darkness. So it did not matter what I chose. Hello? Roll over hazily under the cover. Wait a sec, he's sleeping with Franz, you asshole. Are those birds I hear? Oh wait, no, never mind. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead, I'm sorry. Reluctantly, I pull my head out from the sheets like a bear emerging from hibernation. Gentle sunlight streams in through the window, suggesting that morning's finally arrived.
Franz?
Spreading my eyes, I glance around the room curiously. No one's here. It wasn't just a dream, right? Then my gaze falls upon a piece of paper lying at the foot of the bed. Okay, so did it not matter what I pick? Hopefully it didn't. So then my gaze falls upon a piece just reach out to pick it up, squinting at it, casually scrawled words. Don't go anywhere, kid. Oh, really?
You can go gag on a pile of cocks, you complete bastard.
Crumble up the note and toss it towards the wall. You really think I'm just going to wait around for him during the day? Well, he's wrong. It's broad daylight and I can handle myself well enough. I don't need him to be in my room. Oh, wait, maybe that's what the sleeping and not sleeping. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Franz, if that's how this choice ends up going. Grumbling irritatedly under my breath, I slip out of bed and set about grooming and redressing myself, trying to process the events of the previous day. In the meanwhile... So, one of the bastards was assassinated, huh? How on earth are they going to keep that secret from the guest? What about the other ambassadors? I wonder if this is Linus's job to deal with. He did give me that strange look last night. Is it possible he caught onto what Franz was doing?
This is all too much of a mess for me.
I really hope the sleeping and not sleeping wasn't that important. Maybe I should just want to sleep. Hate myself if it ends up being bad. So, muttering to myself, as usual, I leave my room and head out into the hallway. Sound of chattering voices echoes up from downstairs, making me feel more at ease. I seriously doubt it could be that dangerous during the day. Most assassins wouldn't risk publicly attacking targets, especially not in an isolated castle like this, with nowhere to really run. Unless you poison their drink or food? Yeah, that's my idea. I can think of assassinating someone in the daylight. Anyways, so heading down the corridor, I turn the corner while humming softly, keeping an eye out all the while. Is that a woman lying on the ground? She looks unconscious. What on earth happened to her? Wait, I wonder if it's that girl again. Hurry up, quickly kneeling down beside her. Seems to be an older woman dressed in exquisite finery. And why does she look so strangely familiar? She groans, her eyes struggling open. And she looks even more familiar. Wait, hold on. She can't be!
Eh? Rivian? Is that you?
Never mind, we don't know you, lady, but I guess Rivian does? Sounding just as in disbelief as I am, she pushes herself up into a sitting position, staring at me in shock.
Aunt Valora, I wasn't expecting to see you here. Especially not, you know, on the ground.
Your mother didn't mention a word about you coming to the celebration. I can't believe it.
And she didn't mention to us about you, Valora. That was a slightly nervous laugh. It's not really a surprise considering Mother and Valoria aren't exactly on the best of speaking terms, even though they're sisters.
More importantly, why are you on the floor? Did something happen?
I help Valoria up to her feet, and she dusts herself off with a disgruntled huff, turning her sharp gaze onto me.
Truth be told, I'm not completely sure. One moment I was on my feet, the next I was here on the ground. I think someone snuck up on me when I was leaving my room.
You're saying someone
Okay.
attacked you?
When she nods irritatedly in agreement, I feel beads of cold sweat break out on the back of my neck. So much for my theory of I'm completely safe in broad daylight.
I don't appear to be missing anything, so I'm quite baffled as to what their motive was. Regardless, I was on my way to the Inquisitor's chambers to be briefed on something that apparently happened last night. My vacation has been ruined already, it seems.
I mean, it's 4 days, lady. You still got time.
That's right, you're the king's main advisor on foreign affairs, aren't you?
Yes, but if it weren't for the prestige and pay, you'd sooner catch me cleaning chamber pots than in this job. Tensions between us and our neighbors are at all-time highs, and things are only getting worse.
I tense slightly at her words. If she doesn't know about the ambassador's death yet, well, let's just say I don't want to be around when she finds out. Although, why wasn't she immediately informed last night? Seems like something the king's foreign advisor would need to know as soon as possible. Was it just negligence? Or did they want to go further in their investigations first? Deciding to spill the beans a little, I clear my throat with an awkward smile.
Well, regarding last night's incident, it was a murder, actually. Yours truly happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I almost got detained as a suspect.
Valoria's eyes widen, lips parting as she inhales a gasp.
A murder? Oh, well, that's just delightful, isn't it? How did you get caught up in it? Sticking your nose in places it shouldn't be?
No, just clearly being in the wrong place at the wrong time. She squints at me a little suspiciously, and I can't help but shrink back at it a bit. Does she really think I'm involved with this?
No, I was just in the gardens around the same time the murder took place nearby, you see. I didn't hear so much as a scream. It's almost disappointing, really.
You'd better watch yourself more carefully, you know. Being your father's son won't excuse you from everything.
I mean, he hasn't used that excuse, so yeah. So she thinks I used father's name to will out being held as a suspect, does she? Well, she always seemed to like him a lot more than she likes Mother, maybe a little too much. Actually, I think she holds him in a higher esteem than she does the king himself.
Speaking of your father, do give him my regards when you get back home, won't you? It's a shame how little we talk after he retired.
Yes, I'll try to remember to let him know. I'm sure he misses you too.
Okay, actually, Father absolutely despises Valoria. I feel like he's called her a slimy old witch more than a few times. Probably better not to tell her about that, though.
Of course, of course. Well, I'll be on my way to get the details of this whole murderous affair then, and let the Inquisitor know some attacker of defenseless women is running around on the loose. Do take care, Rivian.
I wiggle my fingers as she passes by, watching her elegant figure until it disappears around the corner. I swear, each time I talk to Valor, she looks at me like I'm some sort of unruly child. Oh, I don't really be on for like 30 minutes now. Yeah, so I swear each time. Maybe I remind her of Mother too much, or maybe she just gives everyone who isn't Father that look. Deciding it's my best interest to not dilly-dally in the same spot Valoria was knocked out. Quickly head to the main hall. Make it to the stairs without any further incident, which is far more of a relief than it really ought to be. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end the video for now. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to get notified what I'll have in the next part, hit the subscribe button. Got anything to say in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comrades?